What if the royal fairy tale ended not with a grand procession through the gates of Buckingham Palace, but with a cold, silent message typed on a private iPhone in Montecito? This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were meant to rewrite the royal script, to shatter the chains of tradition and become symbols of modern love, freedom, and fierce independence. But now, the dream has cracked, and the pieces are scattered across 2 continents. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Just days ago, Prince Harry stepped off a plane at Heathrow with no Duchess by his side, no media smiles, and no explanations. Reporters waited. Cameras flashed. But all he said was this: "I'm home." 2 words. But the weight behind them? Titanic. Meanwhile, Meghan was thousands of miles away, sipping green juice in California, reportedly unmoved, unbothered, and uninterested. And for the first time since they stepped away from royal duties, Harry didn't try to shield her. In fact, insiders say he's preparing to stay in the UK permanently. So what happened? What drove Harry and Meghan from their tightly choreographed public image to this raw unraveling? Here's where it gets even messier. According to palace staff, Meghan was meant to join Harry on this UK trip. Private jet cleared. Itinerary locked. Accommodations set. But just 48 hours before departure, she backed out. No official reason. Just a chilling message relayed through their team. She's not coming. And that's when everything shifted. What followed was a flurry of quiet, tense conversations between Harry and King Charles. Conversations that hadn't happened in years. The king reportedly offered Harry a path back into royal duties. A chance to start over. But there was a condition: Meghan would need to return too. She declined. And just like that, the whisper of a royal divorce went from tabloid fantasy to a real, ticking time bomb. Now here's what no one is telling you. Behind closed doors, the Sussex marriage has been under pressure for months. Not because of tabloids, not because of public backlash, but because of one fundamental clash. Harry wants home, duty, and restoration. Meghan wants independence, brand power, and the California life. Neither is willing to compromise. And as this latest public rift unfolds, friends on both sides are bracing for what feels inevitable. A separation, a split, maybe even something permanent. But why now? Why the silence from Meghan? Why the sudden shift from Harry? We've uncovered exclusive details about hidden communications, financial changes, and secret legal consultations that could explain everything. And you'll want to stay until the very end, because this is no longer a story about a royal couple stepping back. This is the story of 2 people, once united against the world, now walking in completely opposite directions. And if what we've heard is true, then the message Meghan allegedly sent to a senior royal advisor just days ago could be the final nail in the coffin of the Sussex dream. He said it with zero ceremony. No PR team. No glossy Instagram post. Just 2 words murmured under his breath as he passed the cameras at Heathrow. "I'm home." But what did that mean? Prince Harry hadn't set foot on UK soil solo for this long, in over 3 years. No Meghan. No Archie. No Lilibet. Just him. And the silence around his arrival was deafening. This wasn't a diplomatic visit. It wasn't a charity tour. This was personal. And the public knew something was off. Where was Meghan? Why did Harry look heavier? Not in weight, but in spirit. There were no trademark smirks. No familiar glances at the press. Just a man walking into a storm he once ran from. And just hours later, it dropped, the announcement. In a closed-door media briefing with carefully selected royal correspondents, Prince Harry allegedly confirmed that he would remain in the UK long-term. Not just for a visit. Not just for a temporary engagement. He was back. "I've had time to think. I miss my family. I want to serve." Let that sink in. This is the same Harry who once called royal life a trap. The same man who accused his own family of betrayal. The same Duke who said he felt safer raising his children away from the institution. So what changed? Sources say the decision didn't come overnight. It was weeks, possibly months, in the making. And here's where it gets really interesting. Meghan had reportedly been invited to return with him. Not as a bystander, but as a partner. She refused. Not even a maybe. Not a delay. A hard no. And that no sent a very loud message. While Harry was preparing to re-enter the world he once rejected, Meghan was solidifying her life in Montecito. New podcast deals, rumored production meetings, and talks of launching another solo brand. One insider said, "She's moving like a woman untethered." The Sussex brand was always presented as united, two against the world. But for the first time, that illusion cracked, and the public felt it. Even loyal supporters began to ask, is this the beginning of the end? Because Harry's move didn't just suggest a return, it hinted at separation. Physically, emotionally, and very possibly legally. But what drove Meghan to walk away when the palace doors were allegedly open again? Was it pride, pain, or something much darker? Because according to an anonymous staffer, Meghan sent a message just hours after Harry's UK arrival that stunned even senior royals. A message that may have revealed her true intentions all along. And what it said? That's where everything shifts. What happens when silence says more than words ever could? That's the question royal insiders are now asking. Because Meghan Markle hasn't said a single word publicly since Harry's shocking return to the UK. No statement, no clarification, no damage control, just stillness. But behind that silence, a storm's been building. One Meghan seems fully prepared to ride out, alone. Insiders close to the Sussex camp reveal that Meghan received multiple invitations, both formal and informal, to join Harry in the UK. Not just for ceremonial appearances, but for the chance at real, personal reconciliation with the royal family. A fresh start. She refused. Not quietly, either. One source claims Meghan responded with a chilling statement through her legal team, "My life is here now. The UK is not my home. I'm not returning." Let that sink in. This isn't a scheduling conflict. This isn't a "the kids are sick" excuse. This is a hardline decision that signals something deeper, perhaps final. And it's not just about geography. Since Harry's return, Meghan's been spotted at back-to-back Hollywood industry events, smiling, posing, networking. She's reportedly been in talks for solo branding deals and rumored to be reviving her TIG lifestyle blog, but on a scale no one expected. Think, Goop meets Netflix. So why now? Some say she feels vindicated. Others say she feels done. But then came the private call with King Charles. Yes, there was a conversation. Yes, it was civil. But according to a royal aide who overheard parts of the exchange, Meghan was polite but distant. She reportedly said, "There's no place for me in that family, and I've made peace with that." Peace. Or strategy. Because the moment Meghan distanced herself from the palace, she leaned into a different power, celebrity, global visibility, control of her narrative. And Harry? He's stuck in the middle of two worlds, one that rejected him and one that's now rejecting her. It's the emotional contradiction of it all that's hard to ignore. Harry fighting to rebuild bridges while Meghan watches from the sidelines, unmoved. He wants family. She wants freedom. And if you're wondering whether this is temporary, insiders say it's not. One even claimed Meghan told her team, "There's no reconciliation. There's reinvention." Reinvention? That word changes everything. Because it suggests that Meghan isn't mourning the loss of her royal ties. She's preparing for life after them. And if the documents reportedly being drawn up behind closed doors are any indication, that life may include something far more permanent than distance. But what happened during that final conversation between Harry and Meghan, just days before his flight to London? It wasn't leaked. Until now. And when you hear what she allegedly said to him, you might finally understand just how far this split has gone. It started with distance. Then came silence. But now, there are whispers of something far more final, divorce. And it's not just tabloid fiction anymore. Multiple royal watchers and insiders are confirming what fans have feared for months. Harry and Meghan may be on the verge of officially ending their union. The signs? They're no longer subtle. One source close to the Sussex circle claims that both Harry and Meghan have begun quiet legal preparations, a phrase often used to soften the reality of something more serious, a legal separation, or worse, divorce proceedings. But here's the twist. It wasn't Harry who initiated it. It was Meghan. Allegedly, following a heated private call between the two just days before Harry boarded his flight to London, Meghan made it clear, "You do what you need to do. But I'm not coming back to that life." Harry, reportedly stunned, responded with a plea, "Don't do this now." But her reply? Cold. Decisive. "It's already done. Let that sink in. This isn't a rough patch. This isn't growing pains. This is a woman carving a path forward, with or without her husband. And now, lawyers on both sides are allegedly combing through assets, brand deals, property, intellectual property, even future custody agreements. Because let's not forget, Archie and Lilibet are at the center of this storm. Where will they live? If Harry returns to the UK permanently, and Meghan remains in California, will the children follow him or stay with her? Some insiders suggest Meghan is already building her legal case to retain full custody. Others say Harry is quietly speaking with advisors on how to legally ensure his children remain part of his life, no matter what coast they're raised on. It's heartbreaking, it's messy, and it's public now. The fairy tale that once dazzled the world has unraveled into a legal chess game, one that could redefine the future of royal dynamics for decades. And the irony? Meghan once fought for freedom from the palace's grip. Now, Harry is the one chasing tradition, while Meghan pushes for reinvention. The roles have reversed. Friends say Harry is devastated, conflicted, and exhausted. One reportedly told the Mirror he wanted to build a new world with her. But now she's building her own world. And he's not in it. And then came the leak. According to a former staffer, Meghan's team has already drafted public statements, exit scripts, for when the announcement drops. Controlled, carefully worded, painfully strategic. But what's most chilling? One version of the draft includes this line: "After careful reflection, we've decided to part ways and continue our lives separately with love and respect." Sound familiar? It's the same tone used by countless celebrity splits. But this one could shake the monarchy all over again. Because if Meghan walks and Harry stays, what happens next will redefine everything we thought we knew about the Sussexes. But before anything is made public, there's one more twist coming. And it's Meghan's next move, a move that could destroy any hope of redemption for her in the eyes of the world. So here we are, two people once hailed as the future of the monarchy, now navigating the wreckage of a love story that may never recover. Prince Harry has returned to the UK, standing alone in the very world he once turned his back on. Meghan Markle, meanwhile, is making moves in California, moves that speak louder than any press release ever could. But let's go back to that message, the one Meghan allegedly sent to his senior royal aide, just hours after Harry landed in London. It read simply, "Tell the Crown I'm not their puppet anymore." 16 words. No punctuation, no formality, but with the weight of a war declaration. And when that message reached the palace, everything shifted. Behind closed doors, King Charles reportedly met with top aides and legal advisors. Not to plot revenge, not to demand explanations, but to prepare for what happens when Harry officially reclaims his royal ties without Meghan at his side. Because make no mistake, that's where this is heading. Harry has been spotted more and more within royal circles. Unofficial briefings suggest he may be reinstated in select roles. Initially symbolic, but slowly public. Charles, some say, wants to bring him back in, not just as a son, but as a bridge to the future. But can that happen with Meghan still technically holding the title of Duchess? That's the constitutional complication, and it's why her next move could change everything. Word is, Meghan's legal team is preparing a petition, not just for divorce, but for the voluntary removal of her royal titles. Yes, you heard that right. She doesn't want them anymore. Not Duchess. Not Her Royal Highness. Nothing. Because Meghan Markle is ready to walk away, completely. On her own terms. Not as a victim. Not as a royal. But as a brand. A voice. A woman unbound. But what does that mean for Harry? He's said to be crushed. Torn between his loyalty to the woman he fought for and the family he was born into. And now, as that final line is drawn in the sand, he must decide once and for all, where does he belong? And here's the heartbreaking part. This wasn't supposed to end like this. Not with icy statements and legal filings. Not with silent stares across oceans. Not with a once powerful partnership dissolving in plain sight. But sometimes, even the most iconic love stories aren't built to last. Sometimes, they burn too brightly to survive. And as the world watches what could be the final unraveling of the Sussex fairy tale, one question remains. Did they lose each other? Or did they simply outgrow the illusion they tried so hard to maintain? One thing's for sure, this chapter is closing fast. And when the final statement is released, when the world reads their carefully chosen goodbye, One name will be missing from Meghan's side. And it won't be by accident. If you've made it this far, I want to hear from you. Do you think this was always inevitable? Was Harry's return to the UK a turning point? Or just the final straw? Leave your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're still holding out hope, and don't forget to subscribe. Because what comes next?